Alright. Hi everybody, welcome back to Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz. Jack and Letty are back at their place because I'm still quarantined over here, trying to make sure everybody stays unsick, at least as far as I know. And shout out to everybody else who's doing that. Forgive me for not wearing my chef's coat. It got dirty last time and I haven't had time to do it, so I just put on some clothes. So, we're going to get into this, man. I learned about this over in Europe with gyros and stuff, so it's just a simple pan-fried thing you can do at the house, man, especially if your roaster isn't working, like my oven's busted. Apartments. So before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell. I think it's this corner. It's in one of the corners. It's down there, and you'll get notifications every time we upload on Tuesdays and Fridays. And let's get into it. Alright, so this one's relatively easy, man. You're going to need meat. I'm using chicken. It's very frozen. We'll get into why. Onion just a little bit. Garlic. Alright, it calls for 2. We're using like 6. And I'm going to use peppers. That's completely optional, just like half of this one. 1 lime, man. And the black pepper, that makes it that lime pepper stuff. You're going to need just a little bit of butter, just a tablespoon of butter. It's all you really need. Some pita bread, man. I got down to my last couple here. And then this Greek yogurt dressing, man. You can find it on like the salad dressing house. Mostly just because we don't know how to make tzatziki or where to get it here. So, most of this prep is just chopping, man. So get you your big knife, something to cut this stuff down with, and then cut it as small as you can when it comes to the vegetables here, man. Mind your fingers. I kind of took the end of my finger. I was making fun of my buddy stabbing himself the other day. It's kind of what it was. So through the, movie magic, I'll speed this up a bit. But yeah, mind your fingers. Go ahead and chop it up as small as you can. It doesn't have to be uniform. It doesn't have to be pretty. Same with the peppers, man. We are going to use about half of this for, I think it's like a pound of meat that I was using here. You can leave it and leave it sliced in these rings, or again, cut it down as small as possible. It puts more in each mouthful instead of just getting one big pepper every now and then, man. So chop that down, mind your fingers, and if you had any cuts, if you cut yourself with garlic, you're going to find it now because of that pepper oil, man. Now, onion, white, yellow, doesn't matter. Cut this root off, right? You don't need that onion butt. Just chunk that. And if you want to save from having to peel off that skin every time, just cut it and then pull the skin off separately, man. I'm going to do one, pretty thick ring here, right? Pull that onion paper off the outside. Nibble it up, bam. And then just cut this as however, man, it's onion. You can't really cut it wrong unless you just got that whole wad of onion if you don't cut it at all. So chop it down best you can. Mind your fingers. Mind my fingers. Again, it's going to burn you find it. I did all this and I just kind of set it apart. Now, your lime, easiest way to do it, just cut it right in half. Right, you don't have to chop this one down. Now, be sure to get that sticker off of it. It's not going to actually go in the food. You're just going to use the juice, or you can use it as a garnish. So just take all this, set it off separately. Boom. Now, get you some butter. Like I said, it's 1 tablespoon. There's a mark on the paperwork, that comes on the butter. Now, this is frozen. Now, the reason this is frozen is because it's quarantine. I want it to last longer, right? Bag you're not going to reuse because it's had chicken in it. So just go ahead and split that bitch open. If it won't fold, won't get out. Mostly, like, cutting, thawed chicken is easy enough. This frozen stuff, it doesn't wiggle, it doesn't squish. You just like sawing a block of ice. Be sure to make sure everything's clean when you're done. But get just these thin little pieces that you're wanting. Just take it, chop it up. You don't want it super thick like this one. I'll probably cut that one again. But once you get that done, let's get in a skillet, man. So get your skillet, put it on about medium high, right? You don't want to overcook it too fast, right? But these thin pieces, you go ahead and put them in here. Don't add the butter or anything to it, because, especially if it's frozen, because chicken's got a lot of water in it. So it'll cook it and keep it from getting in there. If it starts drying out, add a little bit of the butter here, but it should have all the water and stuff in it. You see how it's all boiling and stuff in there? It'll cook all on that one side. You see it's all the pink side. You see the water? Yeah, that's mostly because it was frozen and because it's chicken. So dump that out, come back, flip it over, put all the meat on the metal. Now that you've got one side cooked, now it's time to add the vegetables, right? So get it all flipped over, put the meat on the metal, make sure all that pink side's down, right? You want the shiny side up kind of stuff. It's the opposite of a motorcycle, I guess. It's the best way to do that. And then add everything except your limes, right? Keep your limes, pull those off. Put the butter, garlic, onion, and the pepper if you're adding it. Make sure to get all the last of it off that. And then make sure that goes to get washed. Now your limes, I don't know why it got darker. Just squeeze the hell out of them like they owe you money. And they're just like angry testicles of somebody that owes you money. Just get them. Get all the juice in there. And I'll start breaking down with the butter. And that gives you flavor, right? So you get all this down. If you're going to add any other seasoning, you can add whatever you want here, man. You can add, like, throw in a paprika or chili powder, whatever. I just use just a simple black pepper. I don't add salt to it, mostly because I've already added a lot of salted butter in it, and I don't want my heart to fucking explode. But because I'm just not a fan of the salted flavor when I have all these other flavors in here. And I got onion, I got garlic, I got the chicken, I got lime, I got the pepper, and then you put salt on it, and salt just overpowers everything in my mind. You're just like, oh, it's salty, and there's some other stuff in the back. So get your pepper on it. Looks a little thick, but you're going to go ahead and flip it around, and it'll spread all over the rest of it. Don't re-layer it once you flip it over. All right, just one layer of pepper, and you're good. Just do it that way. And then make sure it's nice and coated. That's it. You want it to start browning on the edges. You don't want it brown all the way across. This is super thin meat because you've sliced it thin, right? If it gets too brown, it'll be burnt and dry. So just keep it moving, right? Don't want it to sit for too long, but you want it to cook. So I broke down and got my tongs out, man, because it's more control to flip those around. All right? Just get them flipped. The greens will start breaking down around it. It smells great. This is when your roommates come in. You start seeing that brown edge like I was telling you about. That's what you're looking for. You want just a little bit of brown on it, on that and the vegetables. And then you're ready to pull those out. But you need to go find you a plate or something, man. Try to get everything off your spatula. So once you got all that brown, like I said, the brown on the edge, you don't want it brown all over. You're going to dry it out. Just pull that son of a bitch out, put it on a plate on the side. Or you can just dress the pita here. But I'm going to go through how you dress this thing just as, you know, to pad the time, really, is all I'm going to do. Turn off the heat. So, you got your pita here, right? It's already cooked, right? If you got some raw ones, go ahead and heat them up. You can heat them up like a tortilla, but I just go ahead and cook them, or just leave them soft, man. Get your Greek dressing here. A little bit of this stuff goes a long way, especially if you're going to put chicken on it because of the oil and the butter that you used, right? It's going to be a little runny, but get it on here, kind of smooth it out, looks good. Right, and this Greek yogurt stuff, like you wouldn't think it would be actual like food dressing, right? You would put it on like salad or something. But man, it's good. Again, as soon as I find me a good tzatziki recipe, we'll get into that, and I will make some of that. Put that meat on there, layer it, roll it up, boom, you're done, son. This thing, and it is super filling. Like one of these actually hold my big ass for a while, man. And this was maybe $6, and I made at least 4 of these things, man. Really. Alright, that's it, man. That is absolutely excellent. Even if you don't have the pita stuff, the pita is great. I would always do that. Throw it next to some hummus, man. Get you some pita chips. Zool says hi. She just walked in the kitchen because she knows the food's done. Try it out, man. That is excellent. You can even put it on like toasted bread. Like you just put it right in the bread, man. It is excellent. You can eat it by yourself. You can eat it on anything. But it's excellent on that pita with that yogurt dressing, man. It's good. I'm about to eat this one. And probably make 2 or 3 more. So that's a thing, and it's super cheap. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all our YouTube doobly-doos. We very much appreciate it. You can find us on YouTube all the time, but we upload Tuesdays and Fridays, even now during the quarantine or pandemic, from 2 different places. Dual locations. We're bi-coastal, kind of. Like I'm near the bay, he's out by the Gulf. Whatever. You can totally find us on Instagram at Living Between, or you can find us on Facebook, Pinterest, and Patreon at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen there. Man, if you can help us out at Patreon, we very much appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Let's do this. I'll figure out what to do with my hands. Yeah. Word.